I do believe that they stand for some good values still. So yeah, I can't comment on that. I don't really have a strong opinion.
Wait, just curious. You two are both from, is it Singapore?
Yes,
Is it? Both of you?
Singapore.
Is there like a feminist movement in Singapore?
No,
No.
we don't do movements there.
No
No, we
movement.
can't. Oh my God, the government's gonna kick you out. No, we're not supposed to do like any protest in Singapore.
There's no
Okay.
freedom of speech and stuff.
You can't really say that. We do, but it's just we are under a lot of rules and controls, and you're not supposed to do whatever you want. You can't. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about you?
I mean, I guess like originally feminism was like, equality under the law and societally between men and women. So I guess, yes, I'm a feminist, technically.
Okay.
I guess I won't consider myself as one. It's because I'm more like neutral.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, would it be a deal breaker when it comes to dating a guy if he was not a feminist? Like, outwardly spoken, I'm not a feminist. Deal breaker?
I think it very much depends how he defines.
I agree. Yeah,
feminism.
it's not an easy yes or no question. I really think it depends on like how he defines it. Because what if he's saying, "Oh, I'm against like the newer version of feminism," who's like, "Oh, women are better than men and fuck all men." Like that's messed up, right? So I think a lot of people should be against that. Men and women do better together in a society.
Your answer?
Well, I think a lot of people are mixing misandry and feminism. Feminism is just equal rights for both men and women. Misandry is women are better. And I don't think that women are better. I think we are equal. So no, I don't. Again, I agree with Abby. It does depend on how they define themselves. 'Cause they don't have to be an outright feminist, but.
Okay. What about you?
So it's if they're against feminism.
Yeah, if they were against feminism or they were not a feminist, would that be a deal breaker?
Yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah, if they still respect women, I think that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Now you mentioned equal. So I just had a question on this because this came up in a previous show. It's kind of, I'm totally unrelated though to feminism, sort of. Just really quick. I'm sure I know how most of you are going to answer. Just who's physically stronger, men or women?
Biologically men.
Men, it's biological.
Men.
Men.
Biologically men.
Yeah, men.
Okay, just had to ask. We've had a couple people recently be confused about it, so I just wanted to ask.
That would be silly if they answered like both are.
Yeah.
Now, Andrew, perhaps you can weigh in. What's your definition of feminism?
So feminism would be the movement towards egalitarianism and to shrug off patriarchal systems of all kinds. So the goal of feminism is to destroy patriarchy, ultimately.
Okay. Good times.
Do you guys agree or disagree with that?
I think, to be frankly honest with you, we've actually moved towards that pretty well, in my opinion. I would say in America, there is certain patriarchal takes, like abortion laws and stuff, but for majority, I think we're doing pretty good. I think women have a lot of rights. Women are doing pretty good in today's society. Again, I'm talking about America. So I think we're moving in the right direction.
So then you're a feminist.
Didn't I say so? I think I said that I was, yeah.
Well, I just want to make sure, because you can see that there's dilly-dallying around this where people will go, well, I have some feminist takes, some not so feminist takes, but if your goal is the deconstruction of patriarchy, you are a feminist, correct?
Yeah, but again, just like I said, I think when it comes to Western societies like United States, Sweden and stuff, I think women are doing pretty good. We're moving to the right direction.
Yeah, right. I understand your take there. I'm just want to make sure that I understand if you're a feminist or not. So going around the table, by that definition, are you a feminist?
Again, I said yes, I was.
And do you know what going around the table means?
Oh, okay.
Didn't we all answer that question?
Yeah, I know, but now I just gave a definition,
I see
and so
what you
now I'm
mean.
asking a different question. So. Anyway, I was just curious, by that definition, would you guys then consider yourself feminists, which is the movement towards egalitarianism and shrugging off, or destroying, dismantling patriarchal systems?
By that definition, yes, I would consider myself a feminist.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
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 Okay, this is gonna be a bit embarrassing, but does patriarchal means a man leading world?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't think I'll be 100% feminist in that. I still love men to lead. Yeah, but like not overpowering in a sense, you know, something like
I think it's just not a black and white answer. You can't be like, I'm not going to be stood on the streets like with a feminist sign. Like I'm not that strong about it.
I think the miscommunication is that even if you're a feminist, you still want men to have rights. You want the men and women to have equal rights, right? When it comes to patriarchy, typically what it involves is women have lesser rights in a sense.
Right. Then
They're going to have lesser power, authority, and they're going to have maybe not less rights, but they're at least going to have different rights.
Yeah.
Okay, then I would consider myself more towards feminist.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So what I think happens is that people conflate feminism with wokeism, like the purple-haired, sky-screaming lunatics who you see on the street with the signs, like you were kind of alluding to. But feminism doesn't mean that. It actually just means a movement towards egalitarianism and removing patriarchal systems. So when that definition is out there, basically all of you are feminists then, by that definition. Yeah. So I just always think it's interesting to see how many people will say that they're not, but then when they think about what it actually is, they change their answer to, yes, I actually am.
It's just, I think, unfortunately, feminism has a negative connotation in today's society. Like, a lot of people relate to, wokeism and stuff like that. Just like you said, they typically pinpoint to, like, what Marvel is doing. Women are just naturally more powerful, better, stronger, and then men suck. It's just the new media pushing this.
Yeah, but that's all part of the messaging to destroy patriarchy.
But they actually not actually advocating for the equality of men and women. They're actually advocating for women being better and having more power. Why? Shouldn't we actually focus on
if you have
improving the society?
oppressors, if you're a woman, if it's women versus men, and women have oppressors, who are their oppressors?
Sure, no, I understand your point.
Yeah,
but
so then the case is that any of that, what you're talking about, hang on, just let me make my point and just let you speak. So anytime you say, well, wait a second, there's part of what I would call the message. You're alluding to the message. So the message is, now we have a chick in black tight leather doing ninja kicks, and she's awesome, and she's being elevated above the men in the show or whatever. But all of that messaging is designed specifically to dismantle patriarchal systems. That's its point. That's the whole point of it. It's all feminism. Wokeism is feminism. But also the movement towards egalitarianism to kind of shrug off patriarchy, that is also feminism. All of it is breeding the same message, right? Which is that patriarchy is bad.
Yeah, but I feel like today's society, the media especially, is pushing a little bit too far. Like, for example, when it came to, women's rights and feminism and stuff, a lot of men actually helped women obtain those rights and stuff, right? Like, when it comes to...
Well, women didn't want them at all.
What do you mean women didn't want it at all?
Well, so that you understand, almost every place that allowed women to actually vote on whether or not they should be allowed to vote, it was voted down. That's why the Supreme Court came in and made the amendment that was pushed by rich industrialists, essentially. But women themselves, the anti-suffragettes, far outnumbered the suffragettes, meaning the women who wanted to vote were far and away outnumbered by women who did not.
Well, didn't the women were not even able to vote at that time, so they actually needed men's assistance?
That's why I just explained to you that the places where they did allow them to vote on whether or not they should have universal suffrage, they voted it down. They said no. And it was because they thought they had the moral high ground by not becoming political pawns, which is basically true. They really did have a much better moral high ground by not being political pawns in a voting bloc. But yeah, that's essentially what happened. So you are correct that men, rich industrialists, are responsible for feminism. That's true, though there was plenty of pro-suffragette women who also share their great share of responsibility. But kind of back to this, ultimately, if it is the dismantling of patriarchy, the move towards egalitarianism, basically everybody at the table is a feminist by that metric.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's all I had. So it's always interesting to watch everybody change their answer once they understand what it actually means.
That's it?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Word.
a whole lesson on politics, I guess. Yeah. Interesting.
Okay. Hold on one sec, guys. I'm just communicating with Maddie here about one thing. What was the other thing, Nick, we had to pull up? Why don't I do two? There was the Reddit. Harrison and Reddit. Maybe I'll save those for later. I'm going to do 2 chats. David Truziak, hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Bleach wipe the seats tonight. Criteria: a woman needs to come from a wealthy family. Oh, this is for you to date her. Okay. No skin, social media, or 100K followers. Not emo. That's right. I like the swoop, the emo swoop. Has hobbies, likes animals, and good mother material. All right, David. That's the type of woman that you're into. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. We have Phil Gowan with Canadian 100. Merci beaucoup. Life is easier